I bought this is my first year with one of these heaters, but I remember these when I was growing up as a kid in family members' houses. They would have some of these barrel types, and then they'd have some of the lower, wider ones, you know what I'm talking about? And you know, there was always that smell of kerosene in their home. And so, you know, I'm not the type that wants to use this as a regular heat source inside my house. But there are ways to lower that kerosene smell. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I'm very nostalgic when it comes to these old kerosene heaters. But I tell you what, the technology's come a long way, and just how safe they are to use. And we'll look at some of the features here in just a second. Even with starting these things, they're so much easier to start than they used to be. Not that they were ever really hard, but now it's just so easy. And I'll show you right now just how easy it is. Just turning that knob till the wick is lifted all the way up. And then once the wick is lifted all the way up as high as it'll go, of course there's fuel in this tank, which is in the bottom here in the reserve. And then here is the electronic starter switch. And so you just hit the switch until you see a flame. And as soon as you see that flame, you let go. Because if you hold that down, the longer you hold it down, it could damage the wick, and also you're going to get more of a kerosene smell. There are safety features if this were to tip over. There's a mechanism that's actually down inside the base of this, to where if this is tipped over, then it will automatically shut itself off. So that's a great safety feature as well. For the electronic start switch, there is a battery inside this. There's a compartment on the back side where you can just open up that compartment and take out and replace the battery as needed. But that battery should last you a good while. I mean, it's not like you're constantly using it. You just use it whenever you start it, and then it's over. You don't need it otherwise. It's a lot like a starter on a grill. You know how you push in that starter button on your propane grill? You got to get that flame ignited. Once the flame's ignited, you don't use it anymore. So it's not a big issue then. There is a fuel gauge on here as well. Empty, half, and full is what it shows. This DuraHeat model is sold at Home Depot. That's where I got it. I bought it, I think it was 140 or 150, but they range anywhere from like 120 to $200 depending on when you buy it, if there's a sale going on, where you buy it from, you know how that stuff goes. So I'm going to put some links in the description, some affiliate links to a couple of places, and that way you have that. So this is rated for, it's the Portable Convection Kerosene Heater, 23,800 BTUs, rated for 1,000 square foot. With nothing in here, you could probably fit 4 vehicles in this garage. And this thing warms up this garage. There was a day when it was about 12 degrees, and I mean, this thing just warmed up this workshop within about an hour. So we do have drywall in here, there is insulation, so that does help. But this thing does get warm. So it's rated for 1,000 square foot. On Home Depot, I think it only comes in the white or beige, but I think it's in black as well, like on Amazon. Here it shows fuel tank capacity. So it does show the tank capacity, 1.9 gallons. This thing, I mean, it just lasted me more than a day worth of work in the garage. So at the bottom, it's showing 12 hours of runtime. So, you know, 10, 12 hours, that's about what you're going to get out of one full tank. Right now, this is what, March 16th, and right now it is, kerosene is about $4 a gallon. At least it is here. I think kerosene is pretty well stable, isn't it? No matter where you go in the country, in the United States, kerosene is pretty much stable in price. So it's going to be, at least right now, it's going to be about that no matter where you go. When it's winter time, when it gets cold, you just pull it out and you make sure everything's safe. You take a look over it and make sure that everything is the way it should be. And you check the wick and make sure the wick is good at the beginning of the season. And you fill it up with fuel, and then you let that, what you'll do is you'll put this down as low as it'll go, of course with it turned off. And you need to let, when you're starting this up, whether you pull it out of the box the first time, or when you bring it back in for use in a new season, you need to let that wick soak for at least an hour. And I actually let mine soak for a couple of hours, because after 1 hour, it still wasn't enough. Because if you don't let that wick soak in the kerosene before you try to light it up, then it can burn out the wick and destroy your wick. So you don't want that, and that'd just be a waste. And this thing's getting warm. It's too warm for me to really be this close to it. There's a door on the front, and if you want to, or if you're, for some reason at some point the electric start messes up, there's this little door where you can reach inside and you can light this the old-fashioned way. So you buy some of those long matches, and I don't have any of those long matches. I actually probably should have some, just to be prepared, just in case. So that's on my list to buy now that I think of it. And on the inside, there's a mechanism where it looks like a spring. It's not a spring, but it looks like a spring. You just push it up, and you can reach on the inside with that match, and you can light the wick from here. So you just stick the wick inside of the door here, and then you can light it that way. And then once you see that it's lit, then you just pull it away and blow out your match, and once it's all lit and ready to go, you can close the door and you're on your way. So it's even without the electric start, it's still, I think, pretty easy. And the electric start makes it easier, but it's still pretty easy even without it. Growing up, I don't remember any of these barrel types having the cages around them. So that's a nice safety feature to have. Also, something to look at here. This thing can get hot, but it does have a handle here. Once this thing gets cranked up, I mean, you really don't want to be moving this around anyway. You really want to put it wherever you're going to put it and keep it there. But it does have a handle here where you can move it around, and it's pretty easy to move around. It's not too heavy, even filled up with gas, even filled up with kerosene. It's not too bad. I would, if I had to pay $200 for it, I would pay $200. I probably wouldn't pay anything more than $200, because you can find this often between $130 and $160. So that should be about the price range you're looking for. But I'd say it's still worth it even at $200 to buy this. And as I said, this is the DuraHeat version. It's just branded. It has a brand on it that says DuraHeat. You know how these things are. They make all these on the same assembly line, and they slap a different brand on them and sell them in different stores. You know how that goes. So that's what they've done with this. So this is going to look different in different places. This is me after using this for a full season and telling you that this is a great barrel style kerosene heater for about $140 from Home Depot or Lowe's, Amazon, probably Tractor Supply, Rural King. All those places are typical places where you might find one of these. Hope this review has been helpful and useful. Let me know in the comment section about just what your thoughts are. Do you have one of these? If so, how's it working out for you? Did you get a dud? If so, were you able to exchange it out pretty easily? What's the warranty like? Did they honor the warranty on these? Just let me know what your experience has been with these particular heaters, and let's help each other out by a little bit of conversation there in the comment section. All right, you all have a good day, and I'll see you soon.